And it's Kraetzer for CaMMVetsMedia. We're at the Brooklyn Cyclones game tonight in Coney Island, Brooklyn. It's a tribute night to the great heroes of 9/11 and our event at the Brooklyn Wall of Remembrance. And one of our special guests who threw out a first pitch is from the U.S. Navy, Commander Cmdr Kenneweg.
Edward Kenneweg, yep.
Yeah, and Commander, good to see you. You got your baseball. What was it like to throw a first pitch out at the game tonight?
Absolutely. No, it was definitely amazing. I have to give credit to my oldest son, 6 years old, in his T-Bog league for giving me some virtual pointers to help me prepare for the big event. But ultimately, it was a great experience and being surrounded really by local as well as national heroes for this game today.
That's great. And tell us a little bit about your role here in the New York City. You've served around the country, around the world, but you're involved with leading the effort to attract future sailors.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So a little bit about me. I'm born and raised in Southern California, San Diego. I grew up a Navy brat, grew up in a Navy family. My dad served 26 years on the enlisted side. He was an operational specialist, so handling radars, equipment, things like that. And then he eventually went the Command Master Chief Senior Enlisted role. And so between him and being surrounded by ships and all that, it was you can say it was fate, or kind of what led me to pursue the Navy. I joined the Navy through ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps, from the University of Texas at Austin, so Hookham Warren's there. And from there, I pretty much started my Navy career. I started as a surface warfare officer on board USS Bulkley, DDG 84, which was commissioned out here in the New York City metro area in late 2001, right after 9/11. And then from there, I switched over to the human resources track with the Navy. Did two recruiting assignments, first one in San Diego, Orange County area, and then the second one in Denver, Colorado. And then from there, went to DC, of course, as an HR officer. It seemed like I eventually was going to make it out there, and worked in officer plans and policy for about 4 years. And then from there, transitioned to the reserve component for a little bit. And just recently got accepted to come back to active duty. So recruited myself again to get back into it in the Navy. But for me right now, I'm the XO, Executive Officer of Navy Recruiting out here in the New York metro area, New Jersey, Central and Northern New Jersey, of course, the 5 boroughs, as well as Long Island and parts of Europe. Pretty much where I'm at here today.
Well, that's great. Well, Commander, it's so important. You've been out in the fleet. You went to OCS. What's a message that you offer to prospective high school students, college students who might be thinking about the opportunities in the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps?
Absolutely, no, great question. And so I love talking to interested candidates, applicants, and all around. Whether I'm in the office, recruiting offices, or even on flights. I've had flight attendants, people that sit next to me that express interest or talking about the Navy, and so it's really an opportunity to talk about my Navy story, but also with the military, really specifically with the Navy. It's an opportunity to really create your own destiny and really set yourself up for the future, whether it's you want to do 5 years of service and ultimately transition to the civilian world, work in corporate America, or even go, use your GI Bill, become a doctor, a lawyer. All those Navy stories is phenomenal. Or you want to make it a career, or just maybe start 5 years, give it a couple years, and you see a lot of folks like that admirals, leaders that hey, they were only in it for 5 years, and 25, 30 plus years later, they're still in it. And I feel that's going to be my part there. It doesn't go without a support system. My wife, kids, that really kind of keep me afloat, figuratively speaking, here as well as at home, there. But really going back, the Navy has a ton of opportunities, whether you're joining out of high school, you really want to build a trade, or you have great SAT, ACT scores, and looking into college, we have scholarship opportunities through ROTC, and so it's really kind of it's your oyster, the best way to say it, with the Navy.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. We cover New York City Fleet Week. You've got the surface fleet, the aircraft carriers, destroyers to serve on. You've obviously got submarines, which is really a special calling. You've got aviation. Yep. You got space. You got cyber. What are some of the other things?
Yeah, no, there's just so many great things, and you covered it there. And the great thing about the New York City metro area is, every year we have Fleet Week, and that just took place roughly about a month ago, in which the Navy comes to New York. And what's amazing is next year is the 250th birthday and International Navy Review. So in July, there's going to be, imagine Fleet Week times 50. So there's going to be a series of Navy ships or international partners that are going to be coming to the New York City metro area in just over a year. So stay tuned for that. But really, the New York metro area with Fleet Weeks and different types of Navy weeks and things like that is really to showcase what the Navy is all about and really how it ties into the local community.
I just got to ask you, technology is so important to the U.S. military today, being ahead of adversaries in every technology, whether it's cyber, robotics, data management, critical data, large language models. I hear about it all.
Exactly. AI, machine learning, artificial intelligence, machine learning. The Navy is definitely in the forefront with that as well, especially because that is going to be the way of the future a lot with warfare systems, technology, and so really being ahead of adversaries in terms of that technology and how it can really support the weapon systems that we have.
Yeah. Hey, just a final question. Navy's obviously in the news with with the challenges overseas. What do you think about your friends who are maybe serving overseas on a submarine, on an aircraft carrier, on a destroyer, flying planes? There's so much great, amazing work being done by the Navy and all the military.
Absolutely, that's a great question. And really, for them, it's really being at the tip of the spear and really answering the call. They train day and night and weeks and months for these types of situations, and so they're when they're getting a moment's notice to support any sort of operation that's needed, that they're ready to respond or really to support as needed there. So really for them out there in the tip of the spear, that really I give kind of the tip of the cap, the salute to them for really supporting our country and really keeping our democracy the way freedom the way it is.
Just a final last question. What's been a best moment for you in the Navy?
Absolutely. I would say the opening pitch today, but no. Of course, just really the opportunity to continue serving, and as I mentioned, just the opportunities, for my example of coming back on active duty, and it's just really that's just one small example out of many that you can really accomplish. Navy paid for my undergrad, it also paid for my master's, and so really it just helped pave the way for my future, both today as well as into the road. And it takes care of my family, great benefits. I could talk all day, or I can recruit you, of course, there. But it's just the greatest moments in just really taking care of the sailors and the people, and making a difference every day I come into work.
Yeah, we have a friend, Fleet Master Chief Ray Kemp, who was Command Master Chief on the Harry Truman for deployment a few years ago. And he said the most important thing is he brought everybody back safely.
Exactly.
And we think of those serving. We have a friend who's on a submarine overseas now, and so many others. Commander, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us today at the Brooklyn Wall of Remembrance, and thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Good to see you. It's Ken Kraetzer for CaMMVetsMedia. We're in Brooklyn, New York at the Brooklyn Wall of Remembrance Tribute Night. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.